Good morning. Welcome to your card of the day for Monday the 3rd and Tuesday the 4th of February, depending on what side of the date line you are. Today's card of the day is Crocus. Crocus is a really interesting plant. You've got one crocus that actually flowers in spring and one that flowers in autumn. And the crocus that flowers in autumn is what gives us our saffron, which is the most expensive spice on the planet. Beautiful scents, the most delicate flower with an absolutely heavenly scent. Now, it's really quite a stubborn, and when it flowers in autumn, it doesn't actually flower until it frosts. And you get those first frosts, as long as you've had decent rain in summer, and those first frosts come, you get the blooms. So it's a survivor. It blooms and it comes into its own when the frost is there, when it hits hardship. So this card is saying that just like the strength of the crocus, you have that strength within you. And this part of you is a very, very valuable ally. The card is suggesting that you could try reaching for this part of you, even when you don't need it, so that you become familiar with it and its energy, so that you can employ that, so you can call that up and utilize it. It's determination, that strength within you in your everyday life, because this can only benefit you. Because when you know this part of yourself, when you make it a part of your everyday life, the world really is your oyster. You're able to achieve whatever it is that you wish to achieve. And remembering to speak up for yourself, because we know that that's very hard to do, especially if you feel your opinion isn't really worth being heard. A lot of us have that wound, that we feel that our opinion is irrelevant. But speaking up for yourself, being assertive doesn't mean coming across as aggressive. It's just letting people know what your needs are. It's about boundaries. Again, boundaries. As empaths, we often have very soft boundaries. And people cross them and we go, oh, you crossed my boundary. And I used to do it all the time. People would cross my boundary because they were non-existent. They were so soft. They really weren't there. So nobody honored my boundaries until I realized that until I honored my boundaries, no one was going to. And the only way anyone could cross my boundaries, could push through them, is if I allowed them. And that gave me that strength inside when I realized that. It was like, well, that's it. I have to take control of this, of my boundaries. I have to be in control of my boundaries. I have to be assertive about this and be firm with my boundaries and not let people just wander through them. Never had much of a problem with people I don't really know, but with those closest to me, my boundaries have been so soft. So now is the perfect time for you to speak up about something that is weighing on you. You may be surprised by how it sets things on the path to change. And often that means a path to change within ourselves. Because when we start to change inside ourselves, we start to notice the world changing around us. It's a very difficult thing for us to understand that we, to the greater extent, create our reality. The energy we put out into the world, our intention, is what creates the reality that we find ourselves in. So once we have that intention of what we want, we hold our intention of what we want, not what we don't want. Forget that, leave that, that's back there. Don't even look at it. Don't look in the rear vision mirror. Just leave it behind you. Focus on what you do want, put that intention, hold that intention in your heart, and project that into your energy field and out into the world. Because when we do that, we do create that which we want. And there's always going to be things that come along to trigger us, trigger our wounds, make us look at ourselves and learn another lesson, get some more experiences to help heal those wounds. And when we are triggered, that's what it is. The trigger is coming as an opportunity for us to heal that wound that is triggered. So rather than pointing the finger and saying that so-and-so, I could use much stronger words, but I won't. That so-and-so, okay, what's triggered in me? What's asking to be healed? So I bet you 99% of the time it's something asking to be healed within ourselves. There are the times of righteous indignation and righteous anger. But remember, if it's not love, it's fear. And we do fear our shadows until we start to illuminate them. And then we see they're not the scary monsters that we thought they were. They're just the scared parts of ourselves that we popped away somewhere to keep it safe. But we're adults now, as a friend of mine says, we're grown-ass women or men. And we don't need those things that we put in place as children, as weans, to protect us. So we can shine the light in those shadows. We can look at those things that were so scary when we were little. Because when you look back and see all the things that you've overcome in your life, those things that scared you as a child are nothing in comparison to what you have already overcome. So allow the illumination. Send some love into those shadows. And pull in that self-worth. Realize that what you have to say is important. Who you are is important. Because if you weren't important, you wouldn't be here. If you're still here on the planet, it's for a reason. One of my guides have told me that you humans are so weak, so easy to die. And he's right. So easy for us to die. So if you're here, it's for a reason, and you have something to add. Yep, they're done. It's good night from me, and I hope you have an absolutely blessed day with the crocus, reminding you that it's time to speak up. It's time to be true to yourself and know you are worthy of being heard. Much love to you. Have a blessed day. Good night.